Even an Iraq vet like me who's in really good shape needs good health care. Especially when it's top quality and convenient. And it's not just for men. In fact, aren't you a vet, Patricia?
Yeah, I served in the Air Force.
When I come to the VA, the people understand veterans' needs. I get great care with good doctors and nurses and state-of-the-art facilities. Because hey, I was there and I earned it. And if you deployed to Iraq or Afghanistan, including with the Guard or Reserves, you did too. Here's another thing. I'm within 5 years of my time over there, so there's no copay for any service-related condition. That makes a difference to me. So why not come in today? When you check in, you'll get a full medical exam, first thing. Free for vets at the VA. Thanks, Doc. So check us out and see you here.
Visit elmhurst.org to explore the new City of Elmhurst website. Find out the latest Elmhurst news, pay utility bills and parking tickets, report concerns, and much more. Elmhurst.org is an ideal way to discover what Elmhurst offers your business, your family, your life.
Good morning. I'm Ken Bartels from the Community Bank of Elmhurst, along with my partner, Tony Cazzone from the Department of Public Works in the City of Elmhurst, and we're here to bring you the 95th Elmhurst Memorial Day Parade just outside of Veterans Square in Wilder Park. And always remember is the theme every year of this parade, and Elmhurst has been remembering dating back to 1918. And Tony, some thoughts before we go to our broadcast?
Well, Ken, as we all know, this is the unofficial start of summer with barbecues and outdoor festivities with family and friends. But most importantly, today's Memorial Day, or as some people remember, Decoration Day, when we honor those who have given the ultimate sacrifice, those that have served, and those that are currently serving in the military that defend us, defend our nation, so that we can enjoy the liberty, the happiness, and the peace that we have today. So today is very special. We want to honor all our veterans, both past and present, as we celebrate our Memorial Day Parade. And the committee, I know, has worked very hard to bring a really great parade today with a lot of units, marching units and whatnot, and over 80 units today. So we're happy to be here.
Thanks, Tony. So enjoy. It may be the official start of summer. It's a little chilly today. Enjoy the parade on Elmhurst, our kind of town. Welcome again to the 95th Elmhurst Memorial Day Parade. I'm Ken Bartels, along with my partner, Tony Cazzone. We're starting the parade off the way we should on a Memorial Day with the Elmhurst Police and Fire Color Guard. And they will be followed by the Elmhurst Police Chief, Michael Ruth, and Fire Chief, Jeff Bassador. There are 8 color guard units in the parade this year, and the Elmhurst unit always proudly leads off the Memorial Day Parade. There's Chief Ruth.
There's our new chief.
Yeah,
yes, Michael
Chief
Ruth
there, and the looks like a relatively new supervisor squad car.
Yeah.
I guess you can't really call that a car, but there's
Tahoe, Chevy Tahoe.
Chief Bassador.
Fire Department.
95th Elmhurst Annual Memorial Day Parade dating back to 1918, as we said in the opening.
On a little bit of a chilly day this morning, Ken, but no rain.
There's representatives of the chamber.
There's John Quigley, the president, CEO.
Memorial Day parades, historically, except for the musical units, are very respectful and silent. As the fire trucks and other things show up a little bit later, you will see that it's quite dramatic to have a fire truck go by and have no engine.
This is our Royal Airs Drum and Bugle Corps.
As the Royal Airs Drum and Bugle Corps fades away, you have the Elmhurst City Council and Mayor Steve Morley. Looks like the full contingent of elected officials are out here with the parade. There's the mayor. Alderman Wagner there with him in your picture, going straight down the line. Terrific to see the elected officials here this morning in the Memorial Day Parade.
Absolutely. Here comes our fire department, Engine 1.
As I said, just a dramatic moment when these huge machines come by with no sirens.
Very respectful.
Absolutely. You always remember respectful. It's a day of remembering, not necessarily of celebration, although it's one of those days where you're remembering and yet you're celebrating the lives of those that were lost. You're celebrating the service of the current personnel. So it is a day of celebration, but it's very respectful celebration.
Right, absolutely. Here's Oakbrook Terrace, their fire truck, 317.
I think 84 units, as you mentioned in the opening, Tony, 9 musical units. And not only are we on Elmhurst, our kind of town, eventually on cable, but we're streaming live on the internet as well.
Yes, and we want to welcome all those that are on the World Wide Web as you join us for Elmhurst's 95th
That was the
Memorial
Oakbrook,
Day Parade.
Was the Oakbrook Police Department Color Guard. Fire Department, Police Department Color Guard.
There's another one of Oakbrook's units. Their ladder truck. Truck number 94.
Yeah, they've got young firefighters in Oakbrook.
How about that? Yeah, they trained them early.
Yeah, absolutely.
Got another unit coming through here, Ken. This is North Lake's ladder truck.
Well, there are a lot of Memorial Day parades around, but this one being certainly one of the absolute oldest and longest certainly in DuPage County. So there's a lot of folks that want to be involved.
Coming up is our Antioch Brass Quintet.
A regular participant in the Elmhurst Memorial Day Parade. We're now going to have the military officials who will be coming up. You can see them coming up in the convertibles, and then they will be disembarking here at the reviewing station and going up on the platform and officially reviewing the remainder of the parade that they are still very much in the lead of. So they will come by us and then disembark and head on to the reviewing platform.
We just saw the U.S. Army Colonel Robert Brackey and Lieutenant Colonel Martin Jensen. Going by now, U.S. Air Force Brigadier General John Wendell. And from the United States Navy, Commander David A. Fry.
Thanks, Bill. Good morning. Thanks, guys. Thank you for coming out. Thanks, folks.
U.S. Marine Corps, we've got Gunnery Sergeant John T. Jack Kamak. Very familiar face here in Elmhurst.
Jack has also served on our Memorial Day committee.
And Chief Warrant Officer 4 from the U.S. Coast Guard, Michael Cleary. This is the American Legion Post 187 Color Guard. Of course, this Memorial Day Parade, as all of them in the past, is collectively sponsored and organized by the Elmhurst Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Elmhurst American Legion Post 187, Veterans of Foreign Wars, Villa Park Post 2801, and the City of Elmhurst.
We want to mention also in the American Legion THB Post 187, Commander Danny L. Gores, Senior Vice Commander Robert H. Daniels, and their post members, and the Auxiliary President Joanne Schultz, and their auxiliary members.
Joanne was my partner on these broadcasts for a number of years, Tony.
Really?
Yes.
Well, Ken, I know you're a veteran at this. You've been doing this parade for many, many years. You are the voice of the Memorial Day Parade.
I counted it up last year and I wrote it down, but I couldn't find it. And I decided that it wasn't all that important.
We just had the Unit 14 Veterans of Foreign Wars, Post 2801.
This is the VETSO, Wheelchair Honor Guard Veterans Vehicle. VETSO is a veterans social organization.
Coming in our picture is the Chicagoland Military Vehicle Club. There's an old squad car there from the days of Barney Fife. River Grove.
River Grove, Squad 654. Not quite car 54, where are you? But close. Another vintage automobile, this time a long stretch.
Very sleek.
Cadillac. Another vintage fire apparatus. Well, Tony, the Memorial Day Parade always draws a crowd, and obviously the weather a little bit of an effect on the crowd. But right here at the Veterans Square Memorial in Wilder Park, we're seeing a nice contingent of Elmhurstonians and others here enjoying the parade.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Ken. I think people looked out the window this morning and saw that it's not raining, although it is a little chilly, and decided to come out and watch our parade today.
As they should. The military folks don't get to take the day off when it rains, so I don't think the parade viewers should take it off either. So.
Absolutely. And, you know, it's also a nice tribute when you see all the people that have come out, even the young ones that are in our picture right now. Again, you know, we're here. We want to celebrate, yes, but we also want to honor and remember those that have given us the liberty and the freedom that we have today, that we're so fortunate to have.
Well, and dating back to 1918, I mean, that was just post-World War I. We talked last year on camera. Obviously, there's no World War I folks with us anymore. But there were some, 20-some-odd years ago, there still were, and you would be overwhelmed when they came down the street and you watched them and you think about what they went through in terms of World War I and the, if you will, the tactics of war at that point, and then right on down now through Afghanistan, which hopefully we'll be able to talk about next year, is in the rearview mirror.
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah.
But it's it's just such a dramatic story. And Elmhurst has lost its share over those years.
Yes, we have.
Fortunately, we've had many more return, but it's just a constant tribute. This parade and the ceremony, the military ceremony that follows this parade at Veterans Square in Wilder Park, right behind us.
And that's always a moving ceremony.
Very dramatic, yes.
Yeah, they do a very good job with that. Bill Shanklin, who chairs that part of our event today, does an excellent job putting everything together. It's very respectful.
This would be the Chicagoland Symphonic Wind Ensemble, and we're going to watch and listen to them. This would be the American Gold Star Mothers, represented by Kathleen L. Kozer. Gold Star Mothers, a very significant group. That was not Kathleen L. Kozer, but Betsy Hainish driving the car. I'm sure Kathleen just couldn't be available. This is our Parade Grand Marshal, Tony.
Absolutely. Lieutenant Colonel Peter W. Farrell from the U.S. Army, an Elmhurst resident. Our Grand Marshal today.
Airborne Ranger who served in the Iraq and Afghanistan wars and is currently battalion commander of the Chicago ROTC program at the University of Illinois, Chicago. Lieutenant Colonel Farrell has served in the 82nd Airborne, the Army Rangers, the 25th Infantry Division, Special Assignments Officer, and the Old Guard. So we welcome Lieutenant Colonel Farrell. We don't have to welcome to Elmhurst because he lives here, but we welcome him as Grand Marshal, and he'll be up on the reviewing stand shortly.
We just saw going by DuPage County Marine Corps League Detachment 399, their color guard.
And this would be Patton Academy, Farragut High School, JROTC Drill and Drums Team. This is a nice looking, large outfit, Tony.
Very large, very impressive. Ken, you know, I always enjoy listening to that drum cadence. Well, I'll say that was very impressive. I enjoyed that.
Tony, this is United States Coast Guard, Auxiliary Color Guard, and Patrol Boat Float, and this is absolutely the only time I like to see boats in the streets of Elmhurst.
Yes, you're absolutely right, especially after the spring that we've had.
Don't want to see those boats in the street, but in the parade, it's all right.
That's right.
Right behind it, we have the United States Naval Sea Cadet Corps Color Guard, the John F. Kennedy Division. They're keeping their cadence to that drums that they can still hear of the unit in front of them.
Mm-hmm.
Marching in place. And you're taking a look at the next unit, which is the Carver Military Academy drill team rather, and drum corps. Probably a dream team too. But, you're a drill team today and a dream team.
A dream
most of
team
the time.
tomorrow.
Absolutely. You know, I think it's this parade when the average citizen, if you will, gets a feel for the kind of military precision units that exist in metropolitan Chicago beyond, obviously, the official military units. I mean, these are all volunteer squadrons and people who do this because it's something that they want to do, something that they want to participate in and be a part of this.
Right, absolutely. Coming up now, Ken, is the one of my favorite units, the Northern Illinois Chapter Military Vehicle Preservation Association.
A string of military vehicles restored. You know, this weekend they've always got so many of the classic quote-unquote war movies on the cable channels and television, and
yes,
you get refamiliarized with all these vehicles and their armaments and what they can do, and and then you get to see them close up here, right here in Elmhurst, Illinois.
Right, and you know, we're very fortunate to have the defense that we have not only here in our area, DuPage County and the Chicago metropolitan area, but our nation as a whole.
This would be the 2nd Kentucky Cavalry Company. These are Civil War reenactors, and these pageants go on all over the country, and certainly here in the Midwest with the reenactment of major battles and engagements of the Civil War.
Yes, Ken, this is 2nd Kentucky Cavalry Company D. They're portraying John Hunt Morgan's Confederate Cavalry from Lexington, Kentucky. The unit recreates and teaches Civil War history. Most of their members are military service veterans from all branches of service, several of whom were awarded the Purple Heart. Other members currently have family in the active military service, while others belong to the Sons of Confederate Veterans. The ladies dressed in black represent widows of all wars. They're seated behind a casket, which is draped with an original World War II casket flag. The units march in honor of all veterans this Memorial Day.
Also have the Elmhurst Heritage Foundation and the Elmhurst Historical Museum. The Roostrand poster contest winners went on by, and Historical Museum is about to open up Shudder to Think, the rock and roll photography lens of Paul Natkin, opening up May 31 through the end of August. And they've also got a big gala coming up in November. The Elmhurst Park District coming up, going right by as we speak. And they've got a fun summer ahead of them. And in addition to all their normal activities, there's going to be 3 concerts, July 16 and July 23 here in Wilder Park, and up in Barron's Park on August 24, a big day up there with bands and entertainment and a great deal of fun. So
we have a great park district in Elmhurst.
No,
we really do. The parks, the activities, the events that they have, we're very fortunate, and they do a great job.
Here's the Operation New Dawn Iraq War, Operation Iraqi Freedom Signs, Cub Scout Troop number 82. This is the chorus of DuPage and Naperville, and I think this is their first time in the parade, Tony.
Oh. Let's take a listen to them.
On the reviewing stage, which they're looking west onto Prospect Avenue.
Wow, that was awesome. They sound very good. How respectful. What a wonderful treat that was. And to perform that right in front of our viewing stand.
State Senator Kurt Dillard, now representing Elmhurst, has been for a while now, but still relatively new.
Absolutely. Good to see the senator here from
Good to see you,
Hinsdale.
Senator, you bet. Absolutely. And the senator's vehicle is followed by a long-standing tradition here in Elmhurst, and that is the Dulles Cleaners float. Dulles Cleaners, business in Elmhurst since 1958, and I would guess they've probably been in the parade about that period of time too, Tony. This is a very traditional and regular float participant.
Absolutely. It's good to see them every year. Our first float in our parade today.
Beyond Center Stage, Performing Arts Academy. I think this is their first time in the parade as well. War in Afghanistan, Operation Enduring Freedom Sign, Cub Scout pack number 78. We get to start seeing the kids now, Tony. They start coming on by as parts carrying the engagement war signs, as well as just the opportunity for the Cub Scouts and the Brownies and the Girl Scouts and the Boy Scouts. And
it's good to see our youth.
They're all out there.
All participating
in
today.
The parade, you bet.
Absolutely. Our next unit here, Ken, is called Kids Drop In. This is a child care organization. We've got somebody here who's really profound at the hula hoop. Take a look at that. Look at him go.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
They're all represented very, very well. We've got a very colorful unit here.
This looks like the District 205 Combined Middle Schools Marching Band. Tony, we expected to see them a little later in the parade lineup.
Yes.
But here they are.
And they're sounding good as usual.
Absolutely.
Our next unit, here comes the Elmhurst swim team. There's all the kids having fun, enjoying themselves today in our Elmhurst Memorial Day Parade. Ken, here comes a unit that I know you're very familiar with.
Yeah, I know these folks. This is Community Bank of Elmhurst float. Community Bank of Elmhurst, 20 years in business this year in 2013. And it's their first float opportunity. And I know all those people there.
We're happy to see them. All the smiles.
They're having a great
yes, they are.
They're having a great time.
All of them, yes. Good to see them.
Good. Absolutely.
Here comes the Elmhurst Photo Boutique, located on Spring Road.
You know, Tony, I have to go back to that marching group. That might have been a combined. All those kids didn't look like high school students to me, but I think there were some York Community High School folks there at the end. So we want to make sure. If we're right or wrong, quite frankly, we want to recognize the wonderful York Community High School band.
Absolutely, and William Riddle, their director.
Right, and we'll find out as the parade goes on whether that other unit shows up. If they do, we know we were wrong. But either way, they got recognized.
Exactly.
So.
We're used to seeing them in the green and white with their hats and everything.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Here comes Superior Ambulance Service. We've been serving the Elmhurst area for many, many years.
The old and the new as well.
Yes. O'Hare
Towing service going by. Spiritual Singers.
We've got Cub Scout Pack 26.
The Kosovo War, Bosnian War, and Somalian War signs, as this group is responsible for carrying those. Followed by the Elmhurst Rotary Club. Elmhurst Rotary Club, a recent winner of the West Suburban Philanthropic Network Service Club Philanthropic Award for their service to the local area as well as county-wide, and they'll have a series of cars here, Tony, with scholarship award recipients riding along with some of the Rotarians today.
Very nice. Tops down today, and probably the heater running a little bit, Ken.
Yeah, that vintage Plymouth there and a vintage Imperial there. And not quite
not so vintage
Not
here.
so vintage Corvette. But so be it.
Very sleek. And that's Frank Mushout who's driving that.
Yeah. Frank gets around. That's just
quite quickly, I guess.
That's just one of Frank's cars,
yes.
of course. I say this every year, we have Dads Against Mosquitoes, and I'd like to go on record as saying moms are probably against mosquitoes, kids are against mosquitoes. Mosquitoes do not have a great deal of people in their fan club, I don't think.
Right, they're not very people friendly.
But we're good to have this business participating here in the Memorial Day Parade. We've got the Persian Gulf War sign group and Cub Scout Pack 417. They've respectfully stopped in front of the reviewing stand. Military officers standing, saluting the flag. Nice to have them with us.
Good to see them again, yes. Now is the Timothy Christian High School Band and their director, Doug Pelt.
Got the unit number 49, Grenada War, Lebanon War, and Panama War signs coming up the street.
Everything good?
Everything's good. We've also
we
got
have our mayor right
Steve
behind
Morley
us here.
Good to see you, Mr. Mayor.
Oh, and the camera's on, so that means I gotta go.
You
You want me to sit down?
You can sit down and join us for a minute or two if you wish.
Give us a word or two. Our new mayor,
Just
Steve
slip that
Morley.
on, Steve. Well, you've been in the Memorial Day Parade many times.
I have.
But first time as mayor.
First as mayor, and it's my favorite parade in Elmhurst. Memorial Day obviously has a special meaning to all of us. And I think the rain's going to hold off. So I think we're doing a good job, and Elmhurst is giving it a good showing.
We'll get the parade in, and we'll get the outside service into the memorial immediately following the parade.
Absolutely.
The cold did not affect anybody. The crowd that we have out here today, they all
I think
came
we're
out.
good.
They
yeah,
all came out today.
They arrived later, but that's okay. They're smart that way.
Well, that's the way Elmhurstians are.
There you go. Absolutely.
The Panama banner, 1989 and 1990.
All right, gentlemen, I'm going to let you get back to work.
All right.
I'll see you
Mayor.
a little bit later at the ceremony.
Let you get back to work,
Thank you
too.
for being with us
All
for
right.
a bit
Thank
here.
you, sir. Nice to have the mayor join us.
Yes, that was very nice.
Seems to be a assorted brownies and Girl Scouts and lions and tigers and bears.
And bears, oh my.
Yeah. Really? I just heard in my headset from our director that it's supposed to be totally dry today. I'm delighted to hear that.
Well, that's a good thing.
Absolutely. He didn't happen to mention that it's not going to be 80, but that's okay.
Right. Like last year. Here's the Girl Scout troop 3014 from Hawthorne School.
Yeah, the Grenada, Lebanon, and Panama War signs. This is the Grenada sign, of course. For years and years, Tony, they did the war signs in oldest to youngest, and in the parade, and now they do most current to oldest. So we're sort of working backwards here. But
do we know what the reason for that is?
I don't know the reason, but I know that change took place a few years ago. I am confident there is a reason. How's that?
Okay.
That's the best I can do, though.
All right, here's our next unit, the Elmhurst City Center and Cool Cars.
Cool Cars starts next week in downtown Elmhurst. Come on down and see vintage automobiles. Sometimes it's just vintage of all types. Other evenings it's themed, so you can have your muscle cars or your Fords or your Chevys or your whatevers exclusively.
Absolutely. It's a great time, too, Ken, because the cars are on display. The businesses have specials going. The City Center helps sponsor the event. And it kind of brings you back to the day.
It absolutely does. And as it goes on all summer. City Center this summer also will have music downtown in several locations on various nights of the week. So City Center is going to be hopping this summer, and folks need to come down. It seems like almost every restaurant downtown is an outdoor seating area now, and that just makes for a really pleasant opportunity to come to downtown in the City Center.
It really does. Ken, our earlier shot there was a flatbed trailer making the tight turn there with the Elmhurst College Jazz Band. We have somebody new this year that's transporting them. It's Schroeder Trucking and Marcotte Enterprises. Let's listen to the band.
People look forward to the jazz band coming through here on this flatbed truck.
They're always a treat to listen to. They're one of the best, if not the best. I always enjoy listening to them. And we want to thank Scott Schroeder. He's an Elmhurst guy from way back. Used to live on Emroy. We want to thank him for transporting the Elmhurst College Jazz Band today.
Here are the DARE fifth graders. DARE sponsored by the Elmhurst Police Department.
DARE in Elmhurst, DARE stands for Drug Abuse Resistance Education. It's a great, great program here in Elmhurst, Ken, and the officers that are in the parade today who teach the fifth graders are Officer Anthony Cazzone, Officers Matt McCullum, Josh Duffy, Brendan Bruckner, Nick Waldenmeyer, Mike Ryman, and we might even see the canine officer Tony Poley with Diesel.
Well, we'll have to peer into some of these vehicles and see if that is the case. But even so, DARE is a marvelous program here in town.
Very effective, very worthwhile. There's the Carroll Stream unit that's with our DARE unit also today.
on your camera now. The Elmhurst JCs, another one of our outstanding service club organizations. JCs, Lions, Rotary, Kiwanis, all represented here in the parade. JC's Carnival coming up, not about 2 blocks from here, corner of Park and Prospect, June 13 to 16, as the banner said, and their Distinguished Service Award is coming up very quickly as well.
Concord Place was just going through our picture. Retirement and assisted living community. And now we have the Elmhurst Knights of Columbus, the Father McDonald Council 1911 Club. This is the 4th degree, Ken. The Knights of Columbus have 4 degrees. This is the 4th degree, the patriotic degree. And there's Terry Walden in our picture. The Knights also serve the community with acts of charity and fraternalism.
We mentioned
Sevi Delabar.
Yeah, there's the Knights.
Tony Castellano is also in the car with him.
Here we have the Elmhurst Lions Club. Just got mentioning the service clubs, and here's another example, the Elmhurst Lions Club.
There's a nice shot of John Whartonby, longtime member, very active.
Right behind the Lions is the Dominican Republic sign, followed by the Korean War and Vietnam War signs. Cub Scout pack number 25. Proudly carrying those signs. Start to get into the vintage of where many Americans remember and served and are still with us.
Here's the Bethel United Church of Christ, and they have their the Bethel United Church of Christ and Bethel Learning Center are bringing back their shopping cart brigade, Ken, as they did a few years back in our parade. And their efforts bring paper products to support Heinz Fisher House, located at Heinz VA Hospital. And all our parade goers are urged to bring paper supplies to deposit into their carts.
These cars are part of the Summer Nights Car Club, local unit. Enjoy the opportunity to see them, and I know they're enjoying the opportunity to participate in the 95th Elmhurst Memorial Day Parade. I just keep saying that, 95.
95.
It's just such a big number. In 5 years, Tony, God willing, we'll talk about number 100. Won't that be something?
Yes.
That will really be something.
Here's the shopping
cart brigade you mentioned. Yeah, they're going to do a little maneuver in front of the reviewing stand. This is pretty intricate, kind of a circle arrangement. Let's see if they can do a figure 8. I wonder if they can.
They're doing something like that.
Practice that. Yeah, by golly, look at that.
Got some pretty good choreography going on there.
Not bad. Yeah, sure enough. That's impressive. You know, don't try this at home, folks. Well, these are professional drivers.
The Bethel Learning Center banner. That's a nice big banner.
Yeah, that's probably one of the bigger banners in the entire parade.
Yeah.
It fills up the entire street, almost goes curb to curb.
Yeah, really. Grades 2, kindergarten, preschool registration. And their entourage.
Well, Tony, our evidence is coming forward. We were wrong. This, in fact, is the Elmhurst District 205 Combined Middle Schools Marching Band.
There.
That earlier unit was the York Community High School folks. They fooled us. They were in red.
Yes.
These folks are in red, too. I guess the T-shirts, everybody got together and got the same red T-shirt this year. Let's listen to these kids.
I'll tell you, Ken, I'm impressed. Those kids are great. They're awesome. And when they get older, I think they're going to be even better.
Well, it's a large contingent rather, and it's nice to have them there.
American Taxi just went through our picture. American Taxi Dispatch Incorporated.
This is an opportunity to mention that the military ceremony that we talked with Mayor Morley about takes place immediately following the parade at the Veterans Memorial in Veterans Square in Wilder Park. And that will be part of the Elmhurst Archive of Town broadcast that you're enjoying. You're enjoying the parade, and that's one kind of remembrance. But on a day for always remembering, the military ceremony is both moving and a wonderful tribute.
Absolutely. We just saw Bob Mills going through our picture. He's honoring the USS Arizona, and that was from a home discovery team of Koenig and Stray Realtors.
World War I, World War II signs, Cub Scout pack number 24.
Our next unit is AM 560 WIND Radio. Happy to have them here again with us this year. Next is our Elmhurst Public Library. And you know, Ken, again, we mentioned the Park District earlier, what a great Park District that we have, but we also have one of the best libraries in the area. We're very proud and very fortunate to have a great Elmhurst library.
Well, the practical reality, Tony, is the library, the Park District, the college, the hospital, the school district. Elmhurst is just so blessed and fortunate to have such high-quality organizations in our midst, and they're a reflection of the historical significance of the community and the 40-some-odd thousand folks that live and work here.
That's true. That's why people enjoy Elmhurst, and that's why people enjoy moving into Elmhurst. We have wonderful schools. We have a very well-run city, and everybody's very proud to be here. Our next unit we're seeing here is AM 1160 WYLL Radio, Chicago's Christian Talk.
Civil War and Spanish-American War signs. Cub Scout pack number 23. 56th Virginia Infantry. Again, Civil War reenactors. They also pause. We're going to get a...
I think we're going to get a blast here.
We're going to get a gun salute. The volume of that always surprises folks. It really does.
And they do that with precision, too.
Well, these guys look the part, too, I'm going to tell you.
I'll tell you, on a day like today, unlike last year, they don't mind wearing all of those, all that gear.
Yeah, exactly right.
Here comes Lexington Square and their health network. They're located at Butterfield and Commonwealth here in Elmhurst.
Mexican War sign. Cub Scout pack number 17. My notes here somewhere. I'm going to try and find it. How many? 10 Cub Scout packs, 1 Boy Scout troop, 1 combined group of Girl Scouts, 7 color guards, 9 musical units, 84 units registered. I think there were a few folks because of the weather that needed to drop out, but nonetheless.
We're looking at the Elmhurst Citizens Police Academy Alumni Association. Another unit that's very familiar to our parade every year.
I don't think John Quigley and Ralph Pacciano, who are the parade co-chairs, will have an answer to this. But I'm going to, afterwards, I'm going to ask them if they know approximately how many folks actually march in this parade. It's got to be a big number. When you include all these troops of brownies and Girl Scouts and whatnot all, and then the various organizations, I just wonder how many hundreds we're talking about.
Yes, this is the War of 1812 sign, Ken, being carried by the Cub Scout pack number 15.
A lot of folks have walked on by, I know that.
Yeah. That'd be a good trivia question. How many participants do we have? How many marchers do we have in our parade?
There's a big group from the Elmhurst YMCA. Camping, skiing, rocket launches. Didn't know that. Hockey. Just a very, very strong contingent from a very, very strong organization. Just another great organization in Elmhurst, yes. The YMCA.
And we have here 303 Taxi, a taxi service that serves Elmhurst.
Specifically, by the way, that was the Chiefs Hockey Club that went on by. There's a few of them, and that was the Chiefs.
Comes our next unit. This is the Indian War and Revolutionary War signs being carried by Cub Scout pack number 14.
Well, we definitely want to again thank the Elmhurst Chamber of Commerce and Industry, the Elmhurst American Legion Post 187, Veterans of Foreign Wars, Villa Park Post 2801, and the City of Elmhurst for all of their support in organizing and supporting this parade, Tony, as we come pretty close to the end. I know we've got another unit or two, but
yes,
it's not an easy task. You work, I know the organizers work for months and months to put this parade together and have it flow as smoothly as it does.
That's absolutely right. The committee starts meeting in February, and the co-chairs, Ralph Pacciano and John Quigley, do a really great job organizing everything and the reporting that everybody does. And I want to thank them at this time also, John and Ralph and the committee, the student interns that work at the chamber, Aaron Osha and Jordan Jewell. From the Park District, we have landscape architect Jerry Pask, the City of Elmhurst, the Police Department, Chief Ruth and Sergeant Mike McLean, the Fire Department, Chief Jeff Bassador, Deputy Chief Bill Anashevitz, yours truly, and Villa Park Veterans of Foreign War Post 2801, Commander Dennis Geisman, and the Elmhurst Veterans Memorial Commission also with Bill Shanklin, and the York Radio Club and Todd Benson as they help us with the communication.
Well, and last but not least, the strong, large, and talented crew from Elmhurst, our kind of town, who are on scaffolding, in trucks, in the street, anywhere you can imagine a camera should be to cover this great parade. That's where they are, and they do just a great job. And I know it's my great pleasure to work with them on any number of things in the course of the year. And so they need some thanks too.
Yes, they do. Okay, yeah, very big thanks to them and their producer Jeannie Urich. A fine staff. They make us look good, sound good, and
that's
present.
Not easy to do either.
That's
I
right.
want to tell you. So
they put on a great production. Thank you.
I'm going to say, I'm going to go out on a limb here. I think these three young ladies are from Brain Freeze, which is a ice cream shop in the on Park Avenue in the city center. I'm pretty confident that that's who they are, although we've been wrong before. Sometimes wrong, but never in doubt. That's the way I like to look about it. And here comes the truck,
That's
and we
it.
were
See
right.
that? You were right, Kev.
There you go. We're at
Brain
500.
freeze.
We're cooking now, I tell you. I suspect because this is, and I've mentioned, I don't know that I've mentioned that this is a different shot of the Veterans Square in Wilder Park.
Isn't that?
Than I think we've had before. This is
that's a
pretty dramatic
very
shot.
nice shot.
Here's
some of our
lovely parade viewers.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Younger people out today, dressed warm for the weather. And there's our crowd today. A good crowd today, Ken. I tell you, even though it's a little chilly, but the rain held off, and people came out to.
Well, and
to
about this time, the crowd starts to move into the Veterans Memorial area that I've mentioned a couple of times already. We've got one big showstopper still coming here, folks. The parade is not over, although we've got a reasonably significant gap here towards the end. That sometimes happens with a parade on the best of days, but on a day that was probably a little dicey in terms of who was coming and who wasn't. Back at the staging area at York and 3rd. Parade steps off from York and 3rd, makes its way down York Street. Robert Palmer Drive, down York Street, makes a turn on Church, and then comes over here to Prospect, where the reviewing stand is, and then closure. This is the Chicago Highlanders Pipe and Drum. They are in high demand for parades, Memorial Day, St. Patrick's Day, you name it, and we are delighted that they are here again today, and we'll just listen to them.
That's always great to hear them. Real tribute to our veterans.
Here's the stand for our flag, the large United States of America flag with the Kiwanis Club of Elmhurst, traditional in all Elmhurst parades.
And Ken, the Kiwanis Club, they supplied all the parade marshals today, as they usually do for our parade, and we want to thank them also. They're the ones that keep all the units together and line them up and get them staged correctly. Here's a very symbolic tribute that they do every year.
Well, on a windy day, that flag is a thing to handle. Here we have the shot under the flag. It's always kind of an interesting moment in all of the Elmhurst parades. And we're closing our parade with the First Congregational United Church of Christ, who are coming by and following up the parade, picking up anything that got left behind. So we're delighted that they provide that kind of community service and can move right along. I think these are both, these vehicles are both a part of them. Tony, the 95th Memorial Day Parade in Elmhurst is in the books, so to speak, and we'll look forward to next year's Memorial Day. And now we can look forward to the memorial service in Veterans Square in Wilder Park. Any quick last words before we sign off?
Well, again, looking forward to the rest of the day and our memorial service in the park, and for everyone to, again, remember our veterans, pay them the tribute and the honor that they do deserve.
Always remember. I hope you've enjoyed the Elmhurst Memorial Day Parade. For Tony Cazzone, I'm Ken Bartels. This has been a program of Elmhurst, our kind of town. Thank you.
The officer from the Coast Guard had to leave, so I thought he told Bob Ray. Welcome, everyone. My name is Bill Shanklin. I will be your master of ceremonies today. I'd like to introduce Don Kemp. He's the officer of the day. This time I would like to invite the newest member of the American Legion, Private First Class Jacob Zielinski, to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And now the Star Spangled Banner will be sung by Philip Regal. Philip. Praise it!
By the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Order. Take your post. Please be seated. Thank you for being here today. It's another wonderful day in Elmhurst. I like the sunshine. I hope I don't get a tan. So we're gonna try to change some things up with this ceremony and get you out of here before the rain does get here. We're pleased to have some new faces here today. We're very pleased to have and are very honored to be in the presence of our Grand Marshal. I've gotten to know him a little bit, a fine man, and I love that picture on the program. Look at those young troopers. Colonel, I think they need some body tightening there, don't you? That body position, right, Major? Yes, sir. All those feet together. Okay, at this time, I'd like to invite General Wendell to come forward with our Memorial Day prayer and a few comments.
I want to begin with a brief comment concerning another special day, military-wise. I just have an opening comment concerning Veterans Day, which is observed in November to pay tribute to all the men and women who have or are still wearing the uniform of one of the 5 branches of military service. However, Memorial Day, on the other hand, has the sole purpose of paying tribute to those men and women who not only wore the uniform, but laid down their lives when called upon to stand in the gap in defense of our freedom and to fight for the liberation of the downtrodden in other lands whose freedom has been snatched away by heartless, dictatorial regimes. Military cemeteries dot our land where scores of thousands of our comrades have been laid to rest. The only land that the United States has claimed in Europe following 2 horrendous wars is those plots of land where more than 100,000 of our brave soldiers lie in final repose, never having returned to the United States. 2 days ago, I met a trim young man who noted on my jacket that I had served in the military. He thanked me for my service and then shared that he was just discharged after completing his term of military service that included a tour of duty in Afghanistan. I thanked him for his service, which was in one of the most difficult conflicts that our nation has faced during its 237-year history. Our military men and women volunteer to serve. There is no draft in our country. It is their free choice. Make it a point to thank them for their service. That is what we are doing on this solemn occasion. And let us never forget that which has been accurately stated. It's the soldier, not the reporter, who has given us the freedom of the press. It is a soldier, not the poet, who has given us our freedom of speech. It is the soldier, not the politicians, that ensures our right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. It's the soldier who salutes the flag, who serves beneath the flag, and whose coffin is draped by the flag. We live in the land of the free only because of the brave. God bless our military. God bless the USA. We're going to have a moment of silent remembrance of those who have fallen and paid the full and supreme sacrifice in defense of our great nation, following which I'm going to lead us in a moment of prayer. I ask you to bow with me in that moment of silence as we pay tribute to those who through the ages have given their lives that you and I might be living in a land of the free. Our Father in God, as we come to you on this very solemn occasion, we come with hearts of gratitude, of thankfulness, hearts of petition, as we recall the bravery of those men and women who have gone on before and who have served valiantly and have laid down their lives in the defense of the land which they love. We pray, Father, for those men and women in service now, many of them in harm's way in other parts of this world, and those whose lives are threatened by enemy forces bent upon their destruction, as our men and women are bent upon providing freedom and liberation for those who live under dictatorial regimes for their own people. And so, our Father, we pray that as we have this time of commemoration, our hearts will turn towards you, the author of life, and that we who have served and those who still serve in the military will have the mission given to them to preserve life, to preserve our freedoms, not for us only, but for others for whom it is deprived around this world. And so we dedicate this solemn occasion to the memory of those men and women who have given their supreme sacrifice on our behalf. This I pray in the name of Jesus Christ, my Lord. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, sir. In the program, it states that we're going to post the POW-MIA flag. As you can see, it's already posted. We did that for a couple of reasons. Number one, I wanted to remind me to make a comment about our KIA flag. That's a very special flag. It's the only one of its existence. Unfortunately, the Vietnam organization cannot be here today to post the POW-MIA flag and the KIA flag. They're facing similar problems to all of our veterans organizations. A death, a surgery, one man can't do it all. We're happy to see young men like Jacob here coming into filling the ranks. Our ranks are thinning out at a very rapid pace. We need young veterans to come in and carry on the fight for veterans. We appreciate everybody being here, and I just wanted to make note of why the Vietnam group are not here. Normally, they build our memorial. By now, that should be familiar: the helmet, the rifle, bayonet, dog tags, and boots. If you don't know what that means, look it up. Those of you that do know, it's in honor of all the veterans that have given their life in defense of this country. At this time, I'd like to invite Annie for musical selection. Thank you for being here.
From a distance, the earth looks blue and green, and the snow-capped mountains white. From a distance, the ocean meets the stream, and the eagle takes to flight. From a distance there is harmony, and it echoes through the land. It's the voice of hope, it's the voice of peace, it's the voice of every man. From a distance, we all have enough, and no one is in need. And there are no guns, no bombs, and no disease, no hungry mouths to feed. From a distance, we are instruments marching in a common band, playing songs of hope, playing songs of peace. They're the songs of every man. God is watching us, God is watching us, God is watching us from a distance. From a distance, you look like my friend, even though we are at war. From a distance, I just cannot comprehend what all this fighting's for. From a distance, there is harmony, and it echoes through the land. It's the hope of hopes, it's the love of loves, it's the heart of every man. It's the hope of hopes, it's the love of loves, it is the soul of every man. God is watching us, God is watching us, God is watching us from a distance. God is watching us, God is watching us, God is watching us from a distance. Thank you.
Thank you, Annie. Beautiful. This time I'd like to invite John Quigley, the President and CEO of the Elmhurst Chamber of Commerce and Industry, to read the names of our deceased. I know I moved it around, that's my privilege. Come on, let's go. You got to be alert around us, always. Thank you, John.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Since I've been co-chair of the Memorial Day Parade with Ralph Piccianio, since 2000 was my first, I have made every Veterans Day and Memorial Day and been honored to read off the names of the deceased. Last Veterans Day I missed for the first time in 12 years, and I want to apologize to those whose names I did not get to read. Somebody else read them, but I felt like I left some people down by not being here to read them. I always preface the reading of the names, and we have about 75, close to 80 to read, with a little story. I'm going to talk about another set of veterans. The Chamber of Commerce had a business after hours at Inland Bank on Spring Road this past week. And Inland Bank is partnering with Rolling Thunder who are driving their motorcycles at parades all throughout this great nation today. And they also have another organization they're partnering with, and I'm wearing the hat. It's called SaveAVet.org. And there are certain vets that have been completely ignored. And as a rescuer of pets, I think it's important that we remember that there are dogs out there fighting with our military in every bit of action. And I got to meet one of those dogs that was there to sniff out bombs in Afghanistan to save troops. And that dog served valiantly and ultimately was blown up and suffered injuries and had to be retired from the service. And just like many of our wounded veterans who come back with physical and mental disabilities, we do have those animals who are out there guarding our troops, protecting them, being soldiers with them, and they too are coming back from war with those same kinds of mental and physical injuries. So my little plug today is for SaveAVet.org. If you can go to the website, maybe there's something you can do to help one of those injured animals. The names of our deceased since last November: Warren E. Backert, Walter Behrman, Richard J. Bailey, Richard W. Bajanowski, James R. Backus, Frank Bartuzek, Hans Beck, Kenneth C. Benson, Robert J. Boylan, Bruce Brown, Clarence J. Bugle, Robert Campanolo, Leonard Casamassima, Chester Shrabazik, Margaret Teague Clayton, Warren C. Coburn, Arthur C. Cummings, John Council, Gerald Decker, William Diener, Betty J. Dix, Robert M. Eckert, Harry D. Eldridge, Gennaro Esposito, Brian Evans, Clarence C. Feldposh Jr., Edward Flash, Verrill J. Gertz, Edward J. Hager, Willis B. Hamilton, Jerome Haranet, Arthur He Hydorn, Timothy Hubelick, Merton W. Hubert Jr., Timothy Hublick, Robert Heisey, John P. Keitch, John Kessler Sr., Mary Noth, George Cook, Edward Kosis, George J. Kordick, Franz X. Kundman, Lucy Amy Lahone, Joseph Lamoso, Forrest LaVille, William Luby, Emil Frank Molina, William A. Marbeck, Robert D. McFarland, John L. McGarris, Richard G. Menth, Ralph M. Neely, James H. O'Sullivan, Fred M. Paget, Barry L. Paywalls, Anthony Petratus, Peter R. Plogman, Walter A. Podlin, Thomas Ravane, William J. Reiger, Alfred Rosenfelder, Raymond F. Ryan, Harry E. Schroeder, Myron J. Schultz, Harry Edward Seelig, Zachary Shambro, Edward T. Sokol, Joseph R. Tobiaski, Clyde F. Todd Jr., Errol G. Festudo, Kenneth Earl Wallace, William D. Warner, James C. White, John Willis, Ernest L. Wright, and the final three: Richard J. Finn, Sr., father of a good friend of ours, Robert M. Magnuson, longtime fellow Kowanian, and William J. Cullerton, Grand Marshal of this parade in the late 1990s, a World War II fighter ace. I grew up with his kids, Mark and Chrissy Cullerton. Had no idea their dad was a World War II ace. And that's how it is. You just know these guys as fathers and husbands and friends and neighbors. And it isn't until you see their name on this kind of list that you understand what they've done for our country. I ask you always to remember them, to keep them in your hearts, and as I do every year, send them out now with a great round of applause.
Rifle squad, fire a 3-round volley. Please stand.
All right, peace. Prepare to fire a 3-round volley. Aim, fire, aim, fire, aim, fire. Recover.
Bugler.
And salute.
Taps.
Ready.
Order! Huh. Dismiss the rifle squad. Please be seated. And now we'll have a musical selection by the Men of Spirito, My America.
This is my song, O God of all the nations, a song of peace for lands afar and wide. This is my home, the country where my heart is. Here are my hopes, my dreams, my dreams, my holy shrine. But other hearts in other lands are beating. I sing for peace, for their land and for mine.
skies, o'er amber waves of grain, o'er purple mountain majesties, above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed his grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. America.
Beautiful, nice job. And now it's my honor to introduce our new mayor, Mayor Steve Morley, for a few comments today. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for your service. Thank you all for coming to Elmhurst today. And to all the men and women in our military, thank you very much for your service. As we gather here today in this special place, we gather to remember. Today we will take time to remember in the usual ways, through memories, shared conversations, photographs, reading old letters, and hearing stories. With these remembrances, we honor the fallen members of our military and their sacrifices and experiences, which are a vital piece of our great country's history. To be sure, not all of the memories are happy ones. Memories of loved ones who went off to war never to return. Memories of friends who were part of a brief period played out amid bombs, guns, and rockets. Memories of fear and faith, failure and fanfare, firefights and fireworks. However, it is because of these memories and these moments and these brave men and women of our armed forces that we take time today to remember and to pay tribute to these great Americans who made the ultimate sacrifice for our country's freedoms. We honor them, for what they did was valiant, necessary, and selfless. We remember because we want everyone to understand that the sacrifices made yesterday and today by our military personnel are the absolute bedrock upon which this United States of America thrives and leads in an increasingly dangerous world. In Elmhurst, we have sent our share off to service, lost our share, and thankfully had our share return. We hold these honorable servicemen and women in the highest regard and gather here today to show our respect and admiration. On this Memorial Day, we salute our courageous military personnel who nobly lost their lives and pay homage to their memories. God bless our military men and women and their families and their friends. We care about you, we value you, but above all, we honor you for your deeds and your ideals. Elmhurst will always remember. God bless you all, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
Well done, Mr. Mayor. And now it's our tradition to introduce those members representing the military, and we've always asked Colonel Brackey to do that for us. So, Colonel Brackey. Thank you, sir, for being here.
All right, first I have to say I'm glad that you're all here, and this is kind of a special day for me. As Bill alluded to, I've done this parade many years, and for the first time in as long as I can remember, there's more Army representatives than anybody else. Ooh-ah! Okay. Couldn't miss that, Jack. All right. So let me run down the list that you have. I'm Colonel Robert Brackey. I've been part of this ceremony since the park was built, and I'm very honored to be able to say that. We have one officer, and I will insert him now. He was not on the program because we weren't sure he was going to be here. I brought my son, Major Brackey, along with me. Unfortunately, he's not one of the Army guys.
What can I do?
You fly big planes. And of course, our Grand Marshal, Lieutenant Colonel Peter Farrell, Lieutenant Colonel Martin Jensen, Brigadier General John Wendell, who we have already met. Good to see you again, sir. And Commander David Fry, sir. Finally, one of those Marine guys, Major Edwin Walker, the 4th. Good to see you, Major. And last, but certainly not least, Gunnery Sergeant Jack Kamek, U.S. Marine, sir. Chief Warrant Officer Michael Cleary was with us earlier but had to leave. So those are our officers for the day. Thank you.
And I would like to introduce my special guest again. Jacob, stand up, take a bow. Thank you for having the courage to sit amongst all this brass. For those of you who served in the military, especially the enlisted people, we don't like to be anywhere near the brass, right? These are good people, though, so we don't have to worry about it. Although Jacob, yeah, he doesn't seem a bit nervous. Maybe you're going to go to OCS? Okay, very good. Well, we're at that time in our program that I'd like to invite John Quigley up here again, and Ralph Pacciano. Ralph is the chairman of our Elmhurst Veterans Memorial Commission, to honor our Grand Marshal.
Thank you, Bill. It's John and my pleasure again to introduce the Grand Marshal and to make a presentation to him. And of course this year, as you know, Lieutenant Colonel Peter W. Farrell, who is residing here in Elmhurst, is our Grand Marshal, and we're so pleased to have the opportunity to meet him and to know more about him. But we have a small presentation for him. Actually, it's a rather large presentation.
It's not that small. Yeah. Hope the family's here to help you take it home. Take that end.
All right.
Take this end.
We're going to wrestle with this.
Yep.
Okay. And if we have a little applause for our Grand Marshal.
I don't know how to put that in my wallet, but I appreciate everybody coming out, and thank you very much for the gift and allowing me to be in this today. 26 years in the Army. I've never been to Memorial Day. I don't know why. I worked, I've been overseas, but honestly, it's my first one, and it was very special here in Elmhurst. So I greatly appreciate it from everybody. Thank you.
Congratulations.
And now we will have a musical selection by our bagpiper, Brian Costello. Your attention to the crosses, that's where he'll be playing. Thank you, Brian. Usually at this part of the program, we have our officers place the wreaths at the memorial. As you can see, they're already in place. We've already rendered honors. I want to do something a little different today. Very shortly, the Antioch Brass Quintet is going to start playing each service branch their music, their song, something that they're famous for. And Lieutenant General Ralph Picciano insists that it be done in a certain way. So here it is. What I'd like you to do, when you hear your branch service song being played, if you're sitting, stand up. If you're standing, wave your hand, wave your hat, and sing the song if you know it, but make some noise. We only have 2 Marines here. We got lots of Army guys, so let's make sure they hear us. Okay, Antioch. U.S. Army, wave your hat, stand up. Over the high, high, hey, hey. United States Air Force. Very good. U.S. Navy. United States Marine Corps.
Was to fight for right and freedom and to keep our honor free. We are want to take the title of United States
Marine. U.S. Coast Guard. Any Coast Guard. Thank you very much. And now we're going to raise our colors to full mast because it's at noon. Please stand. Present. Arms. Order. Please be seated. I'd like to invite our mayor to place a wreath. He will be assisted by Gunnery Sergeant Jack Kamek. And now the American Legion and American Legion Auxiliary. VFW and the VFW Auxiliary. Second Kentucky, fire a 2-round volley.
Incoming! Take cover! Lock level 4! For number 2.
Major Walker, are you ready for the benediction?
Yes, sir. Marines will take over now. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. The Marines are really nice. And by the way, this singing was very good because you all open your mouths, and that's what you need to do when you sing. It was beautiful.
Thank you, sir.
It is always a great honor for me to be here today, and I think this is the 20th ceremony that I've been here. I know I started coming soon after Bill Ralston and the troops had finished this beautiful memorial, and it's always a great pleasure, and I had the very high honor of being a Grand Marshal 2 years ago, and I will never forget that. And so it's a great pleasure and honor to be here and to see all my old friends, the General and others, and to meet our new mayor, and to meet some new folks. The word benediction comes from 2 words, bene, meaning well, and dicere, to say, from the Latin, to speak well of. And so we might say a benediction is 3 things. First, it is an expression of good wishes. Second, it is something that promotes goodness or well-being. And third, it is the invocation of a blessing. So first, on behalf of us all, I would like to thank Commander William R. Shanklin, American Legion Post, THB number 187 Elmhurst, and his volunteers, and our new mayor, Mayor Steve Morley, and the officials of the village of Elmhurst for this moving ceremony today, which is in itself a benediction. Secondly, I would like to share with you from the masterful elegy sequence In Memoriam by the great 19th century poet and poet laureate of England, Alfred Lord Tennyson, who wrote the following: "Ring out the grief that saps the mind, ring in the valiant man and free." And finally, as we go forth from this place of remembrance, let us receive in our hearts the beautiful words of the Aaronic benediction from the Old Testament book of Numbers. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. The Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. Barakah Adonai Elohim. Amen. Thank you. And I kept it short, yes, sir. Commander.
Thank you. Thank you, Major Walker, and thanks for being here again.
My honor.
And now, a musical selection, Battle Hymn of the Republic, and I'm going to count the leaves.
Where the grapes of wrath are stored, he has loosed the fateful lightning of his terrible swift sword. His truth is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His truth is marching on.
I have seen him in the watchfires of 100 circling camps. They have builded him an altar in the evening dews and damps. I can read his righteous sentence by the dim and flaring lamps. His day is marching on.
Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His truth is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His truth is marching on. Amen.
Very good. Very, very good. Before I retire the colors, I'd like to make a comment about a soldier that I met this past weekend at a Rotary District Conference. I was walking down the hallway and I passed this gentleman walking a little stooped over. I could tell that, I don't know if he was sick or if that's just the way he walks. I wasn't sure. A very unassuming man, a little bit shorter than I was, or I am. And he said, son, you look like you must have been a military man. I said, yes, sir, I was. He said, were you a trooper? I said, yes, sir, I was. He said, yeah, I was a trooper also. I had 238 jumps. How many did you have? I said, sir, I only had 42, but they were all good ones. And that's all he really wanted to talk about. Now, this man, some of you, the officers, may have heard of him. Colonel, I don't know if you have. Retired Major General Bern Lofke. 4 Silver Stars, 5 Bronze Stars, 2 Purple Hearts, 4 tours in Vietnam. Amazing career in the military, but what was even more amazing was what he did after the military. He decided that he wanted to work for peace, global peace, and he was going to use medicine as the way to do it. So he went back to school, and he got a degree or a certificate to be a physician's assistant. Somehow he got to China. Somehow he got to Russia. And he's working today for world peace through medicine. He's got a group of West Point cadets and some ROTC folks, I think down in Central or South America as we speak, using medicine, wearing the uniform for world peace. And I wanted to mention that because you'll probably never meet the man. I hope you do. I'm glad I met him. He had 3 presentations that I observed. And the last words out of his mouth with each presentation was, "May your parachute always open wide." A great man. Before we retire the colors, I'd like to thank the Park District. Jim, your staff did a great job in getting us ready for this program. As usual, these people work hard. Don, where's Don? Don says he's retiring. This was going to be his last ceremony with us. But we have someone backing him up. Where's Russ Strahan? There he is. Russ has decided to stand in the door for us and help us continue with these programs. I'd also like to thank the mayor for being here, and especially the police chief, Michael Ruth. Thank you. And most importantly, thank you for your devotion to the Honor Guard. It means a lot, and it's really great that you're doing that. We'll talk more about that later. But thank you for being here, and thank you for all the work that you and your folks do for us, as well as the firefighters. I hope you noticed that it was the police and firemen that fired the rifles for us today. Please stand. Retire the colors.
Well, this will be my last time marching them out. Thank you. Color guard, carry colors. Word. To the beat. No, right, no, right, 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 right.